Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This video today is going to be on our top 5 favorite concealers, so if you are interested, keep on watching. The first concealer that I want to talk about is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I absolutely love this concealer so much, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the concealers that everyone loves at the moment. What I really love about this concealer is that it's very creamy formula, which is absolutely great. So it's so easy to glide on under the eyes or any other areas that you would like to conceal. This concealer is actually medium to full coverage as well, which is absolutely great. You can literally use the tiniest amount of this concealer if you did want a more natural finish, so it's good to use your fingers for a more natural finish. If you do want your under eyes to look full coverage and you really want to hide your dark circles or pigmentation, it's best to go straight in with the wand and then use a beauty blender to pat it all out. My under eyes are quite dry, so I like the fact that this doesn't make my under eyes more dry. It gives a really nice radiant and seamless finish. Although this concealer is actually medium to full coverage, it is not cakey at all. It's actually quite lightweight under the eye. Again, this is perfect for someone who has dry under eyes or doesn't want it to look too heavy under the eyes as well. I believe this concealer comes in 16 shades, and this concealer does have multiple purposes to use. So you can use this to correct your skin, any dark areas, uneven skin tone. And it's also great if you did want to color correct before applying this concealer, because it really does do wonders. The price of this concealer is £24, which I believe is very reasonable for a high-end concealer. So the next concealer I'd like to talk about is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. So this concealer was actually one of their original concealers that they launched, and now they have come out with other concealers, but this is still my all-time favorite, probably one of my best concealers on the market. It has been my all-time favorite concealer for many years. What I love about this is Urban Decay is an all vegan brand, which I absolutely love. This is one of those concealers where you apply it and it just sits on the skin so nicely, making the skin look really airbrushed. Again, this concealer is a weightless concealer. If you have dry under eyes, or if you don't want your under eyes to look radiant but you don't want your under eyes to look so dry, so this concealer is kind of in between, but it's good if you do have dry under eyes. This concealer doesn't crease your under eyes at all, so it is great to use if you feel like you've got loads of lines under your eyes. You find that concealers normally sit in those lines or cracks. This concealer will be great for you. I would definitely say this concealer is full coverage and it doesn't look cakey on the skin. I'm not sure if they still have these concealers. I know loads of the shades in this concealer are always out of stock, so I'm not sure if they do all of the shades still, but this is my all-time favorite. And even the newer ones that they have, the Stay Naked ones, they are also quite good, but I would say that they're a little bit more on the matte side concealer. This concealer comes in 14 shades and the price of this concealer is £23. My third top concealer I want to speak about is, of course, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Now, I feel like with this concealer, I did have to use it a few times to actually fall in love with this concealer, but now I am so obsessed with it. It is one of those concealers I automatically go and pick up when I want to use a concealer. Concealer is great to correct your skin tone. And what I like about it is that you can use it on all areas of your face. So it's great if you kind of want to wear a light foundation and then you go in with this. My favorite combination is the MAC Face and Body foundation mixed in with this. I feel like it gives you such a nice flawless face and still looking quite natural as well. What I like so much is that the bottle size is so big, and the applicator as well is quite big, so it's really easy to use and it does last a long time. So you literally need the tiniest amount. The wand is quite big already and little bit goes such a long way. This concealer does give a radiant finish, so great great for someone who has, again, dry eyes, but it is not so radiant to the point where your under eyes actually look quite greasy. So it is great because it gives you a radiant look, and then obviously you can go in with some powder as well to set the concealer. This concealer is very long wearing. This concealer lasts for 12 hours and it doesn't have any flashback as well, which I think is a win point. Concealer is £25, again a very reasonable price. I will definitely be going back to Too Faced probably for a lighter shade in this concealer, just to brighten up the under eyes even more. So yes, this is a great concealer to purchase. The fourth concealer that I want to speak about is the Benefit Cakeless Concealer. This is one of Benefit's most recent concealers that they have launched, and I have to say I'm extremely impressed with it. Why I love this concealer so much is not just because of its cute packaging, but also because it is definitely cakeless, just as it says in its name. So it doesn't give you a cakey look when you're applying this. And the best thing about this is that you literally need the tiniest amount, because the consistency of this concealer is quite thick, and that's why you literally need a tiny bit, and you can use your finger to pat it out or actually go in with a beauty blender. I tend to use this with a beauty blender. I do find that if you do wear a lot of this product, you will find that it will have the opposite effect, so make sure you literally apply the smallest amount. And this concealer has lasted me so long now, it's unbelievable. So I'm really impressed, and definitely be purchasing more of this as well. If you're someone who is looking for a full coverage concealer that is cakeless, covers all your dark areas and blemishes, then this concealer is definitely for you. It is also waterproof. This concealer doesn't budge at all, so wherever you apply it, it will literally keep it on there. It won't budge throughout the day. It lasts up to 24 hours. Like, how amazing is that? I believe they have 12 shades in this concealer for all undertones. And last but not least, this concealer is £19.50. So I think that price is amazing for this kind of cute packaging, and because it is such a high-end brand as well, for £19.50, the amount you're getting, it's a great value. Last but not least, I want to speak about the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. This concealer is super full coverage. So if you are someone who is really looking for something really full coverage, then this concealer is for you. It really does hide those circles. This is a creamy consistency concealer, which again is great. And really easy to use. I would say this concealer is more on the matte side, like the semi matte side, more than the radiant side. But again, if you are someone who has quite dry under eyes like myself, you can still go in with this concealer. I just don't think you need too much of it, and again, it's important to moisturize under your eyes before applying this concealer. The applicator looks like this, and it's just really easy to use, so you can literally squeeze your concealer out from this and use it straight onto your skin if you wanted to. Put it on the back of your hand. But what I really like about this concealer is that it's very clever, because it's really easy to clean the applicator, whereas with the other liquid concealers, you have to put the same brush back into the pot. So in terms of hygiene, it's not great. But obviously if you're just using it on yourself, that's perfectly fine. But on other people, you can't go straight in with the concealer. You need to put it on the back of something and then apply it with a brush or a beauty blender. So yeah, that's another thing I really liked about this concealer. When you do use this straight under your eyes, you will realize that you get a really nice cooling effect under the eyes. So it's almost helping if you have any puffiness or things like that. So you get a nice cooling sensation when you're actually concealing your under eyes. So that is another bonus to this concealer. This concealer also helps any hyperpigmentation, any spots, any discoloration. So it's great for that use. Concealer is also water resistant and transfer free, which is absolutely great. Who wouldn't want that in the kit? It lasts all day long. I believe this concealer is in 20 shades, from more fair to rich tones, and it is priced at £24. Again, I think it's a great price for a high-end brand. So guys, that is the end of our video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them below, or you can email us directly on info@sierrabylondon.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Follow us on Instagram @sierrabylondon if you're not already. I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.